You want me to put that on?
Yeah, I'm going to put this on you. Have you used this before?
It's been, they've actually sent me one, and I was messing with it. And,
how long ago?
probably about a year ago.
Okay, does it have this zigzag?
I don't remember.
Okay, because the one with the zigzag captures 8 times more per second than the old one that had the curly cue. All right, guys, this is like the video before the video. So I'm here with James O. You guys will see all this later. James is a former PGA Tour player who won USGA championship. Okay, and we're at Hacienda Country Club. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up that, we have the hack motion going right now, that we're gonna set up and calibrate right now. And I'm just gonna have James do his thing. He's probably one of the best short game players I've ever seen and one of the most creative. So we're gonna try to match feel and real, because sometimes what people feel is not what is actually happening, and sometimes it is, so it's good. Okay, so now you're gonna put it in that position here, just like this. Yep, and now it's in position. Now you're gonna slowly do this without moving your elbow. Yep. All right, so I have it set to wedges. So James, what is like the most, if you had to say like stock of stock shots for you?
Probably really low and really high.
Okay.
I stay away from the middle.
Okay.
That's where I get in trouble.
Okay, so let's walk a little closer and maybe do really low at first.
Yeah.
Grab a couple balls. So that's kind of similar to Phil Mickelson. He doesn't.
Yeah, I think you don't want to be in no man's land.
You're right.
Especially if you don't play a lot. Like, I've been playing a lot, so it's hard for me to visualize shots. But if you put the constraint on, is it going low or high? It's a lot easier.
Right.
Like as if the pin was tucked. Where you aim is a lot easier than if it's right in the middle of the green.
Right.
And
because it starts to require a lot of feel if you're saying like, I want this to be kind of low.
Yes.
Or kind of high.
Sure.
But if you're just like straight up low, straight up high.
Yes.
It's definite.
Yeah. When you're playing a lot and you're practicing a lot, you can really pick apart how high or how low. And when you're not playing a lot, you can't see the difference between the two. It's too close together.
Okay, so we're going to try a low one, I guess, to flag number 3 back there,
yeah,
right?
I'll hit some low ones, and that's a pretty good example of really low. And it's got this really two pretty good shots.
Yeah, it's really good.
At least for me. Yeah, I know this is going to sound stupid, but when I think about hitting a low shot, I just make sure it goes low.
Right, kind of the Dustin Johnson school of thought here.
That rode up the face a little bit, but not bad.
Keep going. I'm starting to see some interesting stuff here already.
That's a good one there.
How was that one?
Yeah, not bad. It's got a good motion. All those, I would say, relatively, that's about the motion.
About the motion.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
One more, and then
okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions about
Sure.
this.
It's a good one. That was great.
For some reason, it didn't catch that one.
Oh.
Do that one.
Okay.
Do that one again. Maybe I got to stand a little closer.
Oh, I got it.
That was great. Okay,
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, just a few inches from the hole. Okay, so give me the basic idea, if somebody wanted to do this, how you would do that. So this would be your feel, and then we're going to get into the real of what's going on wrist-wise for that.
So when I'm hitting this shot and I think low, I'm immediately thinking draw.
And even though you're hitting it low, what club is that too? We should.
Well, I'm using a 60-degree wedge just to kind of show a point. Because, I mean, it'd be easier to hit a 7-iron.
Right.
But that would defeat the purpose of this exercise.
Sure.
So
we're hitting a low draw feel.
Low draw feel. I feel like when I draw the ball, you can get the ball to tumble more. So I've got this big sensation of inside, very ulnar with the club head going down and back. And where I get in trouble is if I kind of come out of it and I don't keep my hands moving forward. The ones I keep moving forward and kind of holding that angle. And I have a lot of rotation this way. What would you call that? I don't even know what that.
Yeah,
if there's a
they call
word
it
for
the
it.
Z-axis on here. So yeah.
Sure. So a lot
kind
of
like the screwdriver action.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So you're I've got this kind of this closing hooking motion with
It's
my hands
almost
ahead.
similar to like Mike Bender shows this thing where you hold the ball and you kind of keep the ball in your hand.
Yes, that's
this way.
definitely
Okay.
the sensation.
Okay. Yeah.
And which is completely opposite of when I hit you know, a shot to go not high but spin, I should say. But just to talk about this shot, it's much more this backhand low hook feeling of yes.
Show us one more time because we lost your last one as you were demonstrating. You caught one. Oh, super.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
good.
So
Almost
you
got it to draw.
didn't see that one, but it went about half a yard to the right of the target. Then it skipped and then started drawing in on a lie that is actually left to right. So it started drawing in right to left on a left to right lie. So we can see a couple of really interesting things here, James, and now this is the reel. So get behind me. So for everybody watching, the purple line here is the rotation. So that's this screwdriver thing. And we can see that from the top, all the way to impact and through impact, James is 100% right. His feel is real, that this is happening, this screwdriver thing. So and it's happening, not only is it happening, but it's happening a lot.
Are you going to grade me on how well I did?
The ball's super close. I'm just going to grade you on whether what you say is actually real. So that was real. And all right, so now we're going to go to we'll just do, James was talking also that he talks about this is the ulnar. So this is basically like, this is thumbs up and thumbs down. So
radial
this motion.
ulnar, right?
That's
so
right, yeah.
I'm feeling more of this thumbs down motion, which allows me to come pretty shallow from the inside.
So you can see here that when James is at setup, so this is our little avatar here. So go take your left wrist to like where its setup would be, James. There. So I can move that little avatar and we can see that there he's at -24. And then as you now go through your swing kind of slowly, that starts to get less and less and less. And that's what this line is here, Mike. One of the reasons he's so consistent is this line stays pretty flat from even before his transition, and then he spikes it a little bit and goes down. That's just it, unloading.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
So that's impact right there?
Nope, impact is here where it says impact. That's top.
Sure.
That's the top.
Okay.
So you would actually be a little bit on the flat side of their green toward range, and then a little bit on the cock side of the impact.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. No. You would be a little flat, a little more cocked than Tor, and a little bit more uncocked than Tor. But you know, that's just a range.
No, that is correct. That is correct.
Okay.
And the reason why is a PGA Tour player hitting a low shot would never take it to this extreme.
Okay.
That would be the
with this much load and unload.
Yeah, you don't need to. My point being, they would be a little bit more stable, or they wouldn't have to ulnar as much.
Right.
Because they don't have to hit this. Right. They don't hit this hooky of a shot
with a low drawing 60-degree wedge.
Sure. So if you take that out a little bit, if you go, okay, let's hit this shot with a 56, a little bit less draw, then it would be a little bit more of a stable Tour average looking shot. Right. Now, I don't do that because when I don't practice, it could be very dangerous when you're on the other side of things. You can err when you're drawing or hitting a low shot. You can err this way. You don't want to err the other way.
You can err ulnar up, but you cannot err handle down.
Yes, that's very dangerous.
Why is that?
Because it gets extremely steep, then it gets spinny. Can you show us? I've heard you're very good at this. Can you show us an example of that error, of that bad shot? Oh yeah. So if I'm trying to hit a low one, and I go that way, right? And that was okay, but from there and then what could happen down here, you're not moving in the direction of low.
And then just didn't have that same attack into the ground and
Sure,
trickle. Yeah.
it's you're going to be steeper. You can launch the ball pretty low, but it's not running.
Right.
It's going to want to check more. But when you're hitting a low shot, you know, the idea is land it close to you, get the ball to, you know, move back there. And it's kind of, I don't know, from a coaching standpoint, just kind of understanding the combination of, okay, what happens when? Now, is it impossible for you to hit low shots like this? No, it's not impossible. In my opinion, it's a little bit easier when you sweep it from the inside to hit a low draw. So when I get, if I'm demonstrating or I'm hitting a shot for safety purposes, I make sure I err on the side of a little bit too in, a little too shot, a little honor, and really try to hold it there.
It's interesting because I keep hearing you say, like, the less you practice, the more towards the extremes you like to do.
Sure.
Okay. All right, now we're going to go to flexion extension, the third thing, the hack motion.
Sure.
Here, so what this is showing here in the tiles specifically, I saw that very consistent as we go through the different shots. You can see it's always really close to flat, like somewhere near 4 or 5. See, that one was also 4, that one was 6. 4, 5, 6, 3. So what's interesting, James, is that you're flat, and then every time you add a slight amount more left wrist extension all from the top to impact. So you can see that as this yellow line, this is the top, as this yellow line goes higher, that's more extension. But when we're talking about from 4 degrees to 10 degrees, that is like not even one tick on the second hand of a clock. It's very little.
Okay.
So so anyway, but it is showing extreme consistency as far as you're here, and then through the swing you have added a little bit more. I think a lot of times when people try to have like a tour, you see the tour averages, and if people tried to like nail tour averages, they would go from here, and then you see that a lot when they try to get impact like this, you know. So talk a little bit about why you like to either keep them in the same or even feel that you're actually adding a little bit of extension even on this low shot.
Sure.
Yeah, so does that make sense? Most people are float load to trap, and you're actually stable to a little release.
Yes. So one of the things that I really think about when I chip is how the energy transfers from my feet to the club head. So I'm not very quiet with my lower body. There's still a little bit of ground force. There's still a little bit of vertical force. So when you kind of time that little bit of that pitching motion, it's letting out. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't like being quiet and going where I'm not trying to disturb the ground. There's still a little bit of this snap to it.
So the energy starts in your feet and it goes through your body, and there's a little load and snap at the end of this chain.
There's definitely a little bit of a buggy whip. Of, you know, how the energy is transferred down to the club head. So if I were to exaggerate that, these shots would look a little bit like, you can kind of see the...
So it's like a buggy whip and an extension.
Yes. Yeah. But it's, even though I feel like I'm holding it, it's still letting out.
Right.
So that's in extreme terms, if you watch any good driver hit a driver really, really long, and you freeze frame at impact, their shaft is bent backwards. Yeah. Because the club head's, you know, you're trying to catch
the energy's gone to the head.
It's already past. It's already gone. You could sit there and try to push as much as you want. Right. The problem with short game and chipping is you can actually overcome that because you're going pretty slow, and that's when your timing gets off, and it's very hard to be consistent when you're fighting kind of the natural timing of things. Right. So, you know, even if you were tossing a ball, if you said there was not even if you're tossing a ball very delicately, there's a little bit of a snap. Sure. Even if you're trying to do it lightly, but it's definitely not going the other way where you're going, you snap and then you slow down and you coast. It's, You know, it's not much like putting. Putting's kind of the opposite.
So it's this whole feeling of you start and build energy through the system, and then there's a point where you're just kind of letting it out.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I think that was the point of why Stanley was having people chip with that super flexible.
100%. And Stan Utley's the
yeah.
really, if you watch kind of how he creates the energy, it's the extreme. You can really see it.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of golfers, a lot of good players, that's what they feel, even though they might not look that way. So in my opinion, even the golfers who are, let's say, just dead still,
Yep.
just where they look locked, when they're hitting a pitch shot, you will definitely see this wrist, in my opinion, will not move the other way.
Oh, right.
Through the shot. I haven't seen too many yet.
So talk about that a little bit. We were saying off camera while we were setting this up, how a lot of people, when they want to imitate what a tour player does, is they'll go, have however much lean they have here, like gain, and then they'll go and they'll kind of float it and then try to have a lot of lean
Sure.
to trap it. But
Sure.
that's not really how a pro is hitting a low shot.
No, I don't.
So first,
I don't
kind
think
of
so.
demo that way of how people are kind of
So
trying to mimic a.
if you see someone like who's someone who doesn't really have a lot of, who's really.
So Jason Day doesn't.
Yeah,
have much,
he doesn't.
and
He doesn't
Stricker
have much.
doesn't. Yeah.
Stricker doesn't.
Yeah.
Now, if you watch them hit that, really trying to keep the wrists inactive, and when they try to spin the ball, which you need to create a little bit of club head speed, I don't care how hard they hang on to it or how hard they fight it the other way. I believe it'll move the other way through the strike.
There'll be a little float and a little extension.
Yes.
Okay.
Even if they're trying, and their sensation is in some players, their sensation could be I'm trying to outrace. Now that's a totally different story. But I think when you get in here and you actually try to keep the hands, moving ahead.
Yeah.
Right. Like I really try to do it there.
And it just landed and doesn't spin.
Yeah, and it's odd because our right hand is below our left. To be able to keep that and not actually break is very, very difficult.
Right.
You know, it's easier to kind of get it deep in here, let it out, and still hit the ball while you're ahead.
I like that.
Because the ball doesn't care what it does. It only cares what it's doing at the ball. It doesn't care what it's doing after the ball.
Yeah, because I think sometimes people, and we'll talk more about this in our other video, but I think sometimes people are so worried about flipping it.
Sure.
That they try to go the other way. But we're going to do another video all about flipping around the greens. But let's drop back and hit some high shots.
Sure.
Okay, so now we're going to, James, you're going to hit to, I guess, our number one flag here on the left.
On the left.
This would be a real tough shot, but nice and high. So you're going to feel like on the extreme end of high, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go medium high and then start going really high.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That was really good. That's great sound. That's really funny too.
Oh, what's funny?
It gave you bright red on
all of them. Perfect.
On left wrist extension at impact, it gave you bright red, like that, like it was wrong.
Oh, okay.
But the shot was great.
Right.
So,
well, I don't even know what I would do.
No, just do your own thing. I was just laughing at that. Oh, that's great.
Bright red, I like it.
Okay, one more.
Stay there. I'll go a little bit higher. Oh, chunked it. A little heavy. That's okay.
There's always going to be a little element of risk when you're doing a high shot from this close. All right, and that is a foot.
Yeah, no, that was a very good shot. I'm trying to hit one really high. A little bit higher.
Did you like that one?
Yeah, that was a
okay.
good
Cool.
one.
We can look at that one.
It's hard off the soft pan, but yep.
Okay, so the thing that we can see in this, as James is trying to hit it higher, is remember this number was at about 8 before. Now it's at 26. So he has a lot more left wrist extension at the top of his swing. See, this line here is much higher than the low one. And then at impact, before he would go from 9, say at the top, to like 10, from 5 at the top to 10 at the top. Now you are actually taking some loft off. I'm sorry, you're getting rid of extension. See, this is the top, and now you're getting rid of extension. Even though you're hitting it higher, your pattern does more of...
Yeah, it probably goes this way. Instead of, I'm not hitting it, like, I think a good way, I'm not hitting it this way, I'm hitting it probably more that way, so it'll look like three-dimensionally that I'm getting rid of my extension, right?
It's funny because the low shot, you're effectively altogether net adding left wrist extension. And in the high shot, you are net taking left wrist extension off.
Yes,
it's just that the high shot, you really are extended.
Really cupped, really extended. So, I mean,
but altogether, so at the low, your low shot was at like 8 at impact, and this one, so it is more open. It's just on net. So try to explain what's going on with your left wrist in the high shot, because it looks a little bit different. You would think, okay, if the high shot would have more extension, and you would be seeking towards extension more.
So when I'm trying to hit a high shot, my safety net is swing big, swing hard, get the ball up in the air, get it past the hole. You don't need to really hit it high if there's no trouble short. There's no bunker, there's no hazard in the way. You don't really need to hit a high shot. When I need to hit a high shot, that means I can't run the ball up.
Yeah, you're going over something.
Yeah, I'm going over something. And where you want to hit the ball is usually a little bit longer. So I err towards big swing, big open club face, and really letting go of the club. Now, hack motion saying that I start somewhere at the top of my swing.
Yeah, at address, same story on flexion extension. That was the ulnar number, but same story. You're seeking towards flattening.
So it's saying that I start somewhere at the top of my swing. I have a lot of extension, right? 26 degrees of extension, and at impact, it's saying that I let it out. And
you've net taken 10 off.
10 off, which saying, well, if you wanted to hit the ball super high, wouldn't you need a lot of extension at impact? And it's, well, you need a lot of loft and you need a lot of speed at impact. You can't hit a ball with a lot of extension. I mean, if I just did that, that would look really, I mean, that's how do you hit a ball this way?
Plus, any speed is going to pull that into a straighter line to flatten it.
So what I do is I have a lot of extension in the backswing to create a certain length of swing. So I have time to swing the thing, and by the time I'm letting it out, then the extension's let out. I've got a little more ulnar, and it's just not a common feel when you're trying to conceptualize this motion that I'm making. Because if you're watching it on TV, it'll look like, wow, that's a lot of
hand action.
A lot of hand action. And it is, but not in the direction that you would think. It's not this shut, kind of this thrown with the hands back.
There's like arms only toss.
Sure.
Yeah, it
doesn't look like this. I'm definitely going with it more. Now, are there players that get a little bit more extension? Yes. If you're a player that goes a little bit more inside to hit a high shot, I can hit one. If you're a player that's kind of a right foot drop back and you kind of do that, that's got to have more extension.
Strike the match. You actually had quite a bit more extension at the top, but then in impact you were actually a little flatter.
Oh wow! So that, now when I see that, is my feel is really this way, and it's flatter than I think, is because when there's more club head speed, the extension gets
pulls
taken
you
out.
More. And you can have more club head speed because you had more extension in the top, face more open.
So if I had, for me, if you say hit a spinner with your wrist being a certain way, well, like I can't with this much club travel. I need
Right.
this much club travel.
Right, right.
I'll take it wherever I can get it.
Yeah, because if you had a, let's say, the same amount, so just a 10-degree
Yep.
wrist at the top with that much speed, you would hit it past the trees.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, so that was just some data capturing. I think we learned a lot in that video alone. So if you guys are interested in trying out the HackMotion, they helped support this whole series that we're doing with James. Go to hackmotion.com/BeBetterGolf. Here on the run up towards the holiday season, they're doing the biggest sale that they've ever done, is what they told me from Latvia, that this thing is, they're really trying to blow it up this year. And they're doing really well. It always has like new features constantly coming out. And every other tech device in golf is looking at what HackMotion is doing mainly, because the ease of use and actually the before and after. So thanks for watching. If you guys are interested in contacting James, the best way to see all of James's content, I think, is Instagram, right? Yep. Instagram's the best way. So we're gonna put his Instagram in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.